Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today's video, I wish I wasn't making this video. Let's just say that. I just decided that I wanted to film the process of doing this test because I am scared out of my mind. I'm so nervous. I've never done a medical test like this before. I really don't want to. I had no idea what I was getting myself into when I agreed to this exam or test, whatever, and I wish I could back out of it, but we're not going to. And I'm gonna bring you guys along and tell you all about it, so that way, if you ever have to go through this, one, you know you're not alone, and two, you kind of know what to expect. And I am so nervous. Usually, like, medical tests, I don't really care. Like, I don't know. I am usually not nervous for medical tests, but this test is different. Little background of why I am getting this test slash, I guess, health update type of jazz thing that we're doing here. I did my SITS marker test on Motegrity, so like my motility medication, and I'm no longer on Linzess, just Motegrity. And the SITS marker test showed that like my motility like did enough in the 5 days. However, all of the markers were still in there and they were stuck at the bottom of you know where, and they could not come out. And if you watched one of my previous videos, you would have known that it was like more of like an impaction type deal, and I needed to do like an enema to help that situation. But anyways, the test showed like eventually at the end of the 5 days, like the Motegrity moved the markers all the way throughout my colon. It got stuck at the bottom. So my doctor wanted to run some more pelvic floor tests. I have a history of like pelvic floor issues. I went to pelvic floor therapy for like over a year, and then I stopped going when my insurance stopped allowing me last year. But honestly, I feel like I made improvements, so I haven't started going yet this year because I'm like, you know what, I'm chilling, I'm good, I don't need it. Other than this and the test that he wanted me to do, he's like, okay, you're gonna do an anorectal manometry, which I was not pleased to hear. I did not want to do that, but I've already done it, so I know what to expect. I just don't want to do it, but we have to. You know what? We have to. And I didn't have that yet. That's in March. And then he was like, oh, have you ever done a pelvic MRI? And I'm like, you know what? No, I've never got an MRI done of my pelvis. And he's like, okay, you know what? Let's add that in there. I was like, okay, whatever. MRI. I'm chilling. I'm chilling with MRIs, okay? I looked at my chart and it was called dynamic pelvic MRI. I'm like, what is this? What is this? So this test is called, I don't know how to pronounce this correctly. It's called a defecography MRI. He failed to mention the first part of the MRI, where I'm getting it done, like through my hospital system, whatever. It's called a dynamic pelvic MRI, not an MRI defecography? I don't freaking know. It's not titled that, so I don't know if it's the exact same, but based on the little phone call I gave them, it's very similar. So let's just say I was stunned. Called them up when I learned about this, and they're like, hello, yes, we are going to shove gel up your bum hole and your vaginal hole as well. So we get gel up both holes, and I'm pretty sure you wear like a diaper, and you go into the MRI and you're gonna like, you know, poop it out, push it out. Okay, I don't know if this is all true. They just said, you know, we're gonna put that stuff in, we're gonna see how it moves, and they're gonna have you like, you know, tense, relax, all that jazz, while everyone's, you know, watching. This sounds like my worst nightmare. Like, I definitely feel like I'm being dramatic. I am. Whatever, I'm a dramatic person, it's how I roll. But I'm also very terrified. Like I said, I've never really been this scared for a test before. I have so much anxiety, and I have been thinking about it for the past like 2 weeks. I'm so nervous. And you know what? You know, I'm even more nervous because when I was like looking up like the prep and everything for this exam on Google, it was like, oh yeah, you're gonna do enemas and stuff before. But my hospital, whatever, this exam, there's no prep. Absolutely nothing. I just go in there like normal. Okay, pooping out of gel is one thing. Actually pooping in front of people is a different thing. So I am scared because of what my SITS marker showed, that there's just gonna be poop. Chill it out. Why am I telling this story? I'm just afraid that I'm literally gonna straight up poop in the MRI machine. Like, and they're gonna look at it, it's gonna smell, it's gonna be awful. I'm so scared. I'm so scared. Like, I don't want to do this. I want to back out right now, but I have to leave in like 30 minutes. So we're gonna do this together and it's gonna be fine. So that's what this video is today. You're gonna come along with me and we're gonna figure this out, and it's gonna be great. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. Fit check. MRI, no metal. Obviously I'm gonna have to strip down because, you know, they gotta access my holes. But anyways, I'm gonna do my best to keep as many clothes on as I can, so that's how I base my outfit. So sweatshirt, perfect sweatshirt. My favorite Free People tops, like Free People just send me one in every color by now because I have like 7 of these. I wear them every day. Bras, I don't know them. These tank tops, I love them. I'm probably gonna put on a tubie pad because there's no metal in that and it's gonna make me feel happier. Leggings, which I will obviously have to take off, so it doesn't even matter. And then before I go, I'm gonna take off all of my jewelry because these, I don't wanna take them off when I'm there. I don't wanna have to worry about it. So take all of my earrings off and my rings. Oh, by the way, this test is at like 6:30 at night. So what a great way to spend my night. I wanna be at home in my bed, reading and relaxing, but nope. We're gonna get gel shoved up our holes, so that's great. See you later. Hello, it's the next day. Obviously I finished my test yesterday and I'm gonna walk you through it because, spoiler alert, it really was not that bad. I have no idea if this is what everyone's exams are like, but I'm just gonna share what my exam was like so you kind of know what to expect and to know that it really is not that bad. As I was like thinking about this video, I'm like, this is probably the dumbest, most pointless video I've ever made in my entire life because you get to hear my anxiety in the beginning and then a little montage and then me just walking you through the test. I don't know, it just feels dumb, but just in case it might help someone feel more comfortable and know what to expect and know that it's okay to feel nervous and unsure going into an exam. I don't know, this might be helpful. If it's not, I'm sorry, but just in case it's helpful, I was like, why not just continue making this video? So let me walk you through it. I get there and I went in, I checked in, I filled out that form you always have to fill out when it comes to MRIs, and then they came out to get me and they brought me back, and then I had a woman, thank goodness. I was like worried, I was like, I really hope it's a woman. I don't really have like a preference. If that is something you have a preference for, please call and make that known ahead of time because they're gonna see parts of you. So if you're not comfortable with a certain type of person doing the exam for you, make you say that ahead of time. So I had a female and that made me feel so much more comfortable. And she brought me back and then she had me change and they had robes there. It was so nice. It was a robe instead of a gown, but you'll have to get in a robe or a gown. I had to take everything off. Everything. Except for my socks. I got to keep my socks, which is good because I love my socks. I keep my socks on all of the time. I cannot go without socks. After I changed, she brought me back to the MRI and then I like walk into the MRI machine. It's just a normal MRI machine. And then I see like blankets and a diaper like laying on the machine. I'm like, oh my gosh, like my anxiety like starts going up. I'm like, this is, yep, there really is an adult diaper right there. And I'm gonna have to poop in it for someone. I'm like, this is so, no. So I just started to get so anxious. And then comes like the part that I was like so scared about, but she's like, okay, here's a syringe. So it's a 60 ml syringe and it had this long like catheter tip on it, and it was filled, the first one was filled like 30 mls and it was like this thick gel. And then she's like, okay, I'm gonna step out of the room and you're gonna take this and you're gonna shove it up. She used nicer words than what I'm using, but you're gonna put it in your vagina and you're gonna squeeze all of this gel in there and then pull it out, throw it away, and then get back on the table and wait for me. And I was like, okay. And I made a comment like, all of that gel? She goes, yeah. She goes, it's really not that much. And I was like, okay. But she left and I did what she said. And it really wasn't that much. I didn't feel it. The gel, luckily, I feel like she took it out and prepared it ahead of time so it wasn't cold or anything. And putting it in, like, it didn't feel like I just pushed 30 mLs of gel. It actually was like not uncomfortable at all. Like I was like, oh, okay, this is cool. Like, you know, not too bad, not too bad. But that might depend on your pelvic floor issues. So keep that in mind. This is personal experience. And if you're going to get this test, you have pelvic floor issues, so you might have a very different experience depending on what your pelvic floor issues are. And then after that, I laid down on the table and she was like, okay, now it's time to put it in your bum. So in my head I was wondering, and I was like, you know, if she had me put it in my vagina, like, why isn't she just having me do it myself? Because I've given myself enemas before, like I know how. It's like, in my head I'm like, that's interesting, but whatever. And then she has me, like, you know, lay on your left side if you ever done an enema, it's the same position. And then she starts, and it's like the same 60 ml syringe, except I didn't see the syringe. Like, I didn't see where she pulled this from. So I don't know how much was in there, but it had the tip, just like an enema, same type of deal. And she said it might be a little bit cold at first, but it should not be painful and it should not hurt. The only thing is it might feel full, like you have to poop, but that's normal. Just keep it in there and that's all you gotta do. And I was like, okay. I was so nervous because I hate enemas. Like, my past enemas have been traumatizing for me just because of why I had to do them. I was imagining an enema and I was like terrified, but it wasn't, it ended up not being that bad at all. So she started with the syringe and I was like, oh, okay, I really don't feel much, so that's good. And then she finishes the syringe and then she unscrews it and attaches another one. And I was like, okay, this is why she didn't want me doing it myself, because there's multiple syringes. She pushes another syringe in, unscrews it, attaches another one. So there's 3 syringes. I don't know if the third one is all the way full. I don't know how much gel in total went inside me, but all in all, it wasn't bad. It didn't hurt, it wasn't uncomfortable. Honestly, it didn't really feel that full for me, but like I said, if you have different pelvic floor issues than me, it might feel different. She had me lay back flat, and then I had to like put on the diaper. I didn't like fully like strap up or anything. I just like put it up in front. Then she was like, okay, we're gonna go on the MRI machine now, and I'm gonna tell you like all these different things that you have to do. So actually she told me everything before I went to the machine. So she said, the first 10 minutes, you just lie there like a normal MRI. Then for a minute, I'm gonna have you do Kegels. Kegels. So then you had to do those. She's like, we'll have you do those for a minute. And then after that minute, we're gonna have you bear down for a minute, but don't push it out. Just bear down without pushing out the gel. And then after that, she said, we're gonna do 3 minutes of trying to push out the gel into the diaper. And I was like, okay, great. After I did get the gel inside of me, I was less nervous because I was like, okay, this gel is not uncomfortable. And it does not feel like it's gonna like fall out or slip out or anything. Like, it just feels like it's chilling there. I was like, you know what, I got this. And then they put on earplugs because MRI machines are really loud. And then headphones so she could communicate with me. And then they give you something to like squeeze if you need something. And then they put this like thing over my pelvis. It looks like a gate type thing. I don't know exactly the function, but they just put it over there. And then I went in the MRI machine. Oh, and they played Taylor Swift for me. They're like, do you want any music? And I was like, do you have Taylor Swift? And she's like, yes. And I was like, yes. So I got to just listen to Taylor Swift in the MRI machine. And then it went exactly like she said. First 10 minutes, I was just lying there, listening to Taylor Swift, chilling. And then when it came time to do the Kegels, she like communicated with me through the headphones and she goes, okay, we're gonna do Kegels. So squeeze for 5 seconds and then release for 5 seconds and then do that for a minute. And then when that was over, she stopped me and then she was like, okay, now we're gonna do the bear down. So bear down for 5 seconds and then relax for 5 seconds. But remember, don't expel the gel. Just bear down without trying to expel it. And I was like, okay, let's go. And then I did that. And at the end of that, she goes, okay, now we're gonna try to expel the gel. So then she's like, okay, for a minute, try to expel the gel. And then she gave me a little break and then we went on for a minute again and then gave me a little break and then we did another minute. And then that was that. And then after that, they just kind of pulled me out of the machine and then she gave me some towels and she left the room and I like just kind of cleaned up, wiped places. And then I like looked at the diaper and I was like, I totally thought I expelled like a bunch of gel, but I did not. There was some like, you know what, we're not gonna get into the details. We're not gonna get into the details. You don't need to know. But I was like, interesting. Am I surprised? Not really, but I was like, dang, I was hoping for something. As soon as I stood up and started walking, I was like, oh, I bet you I could get some gel out like now. They took me to go get my clothes, and then I just went to the bathroom, and I was able to get a lot of the gel out in the bathroom after the MRI machine, and yeah, that was interesting. Honestly though, it felt very similar to taking a bowel movement, so it was not too uncomfortable or weird. But something that I did not prepare for is that after the test, you probably want to wear a pad and some thicker underwear just in case like the gel leaks out, because like I said, personally, like I also had to put it in my vagina, so it might leak out like a period. So I just was in the bathroom for a bit trying to get rid of as much gel as I could, and then I just got dressed and we left, and that was it. Like I said, honestly, like really not that bad. It's obviously awkward and a little bit weird and all that, but like comfort wise, like it really was not that uncomfortable. So if you have any experience with this exam and yours was different and you feel comfortable sharing or want to share to help other people, leave that down below. If you have any questions for me about this exam or anything else, let me know. But let me know if this video was helpful as well. But I think that's all. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give this video a like and a comment, and to subscribe for new videos every Saturday, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!
I don't think I'm okay. Tell me that you're okay. Every single thought inside my brain